Hello my friends, and thank you, and welcome from sunny Northern California. But this YouTube video is going to be about Molokai. So if Molokai makes any sense to you, if that is a word that is near and dear to your heart, stay tuned. This is an important little video. Fairly long, but I encourage you, stay tuned, and when you get done, share it with someone else, please. I'm going to share my heart, my life, what I envision for Molokai. If you have any comments, definitely send them to me. You can email them to me, but I'm not going to give you my email or my phone number until you listen and watch all of this. I may look over at my notes from time to time. First, I want to tell you about Molokai and when I moved there. I was 4 years old. I'll never forget that first evening sitting around that little campfire, I guess you could call it, in Wailua Valley on the east end. I was 4 years old. I was eating a little apple banana, and it slipped out of my hands right in the dirt to the edge of the fire. An elderly gentleman said, "The dirt's clean here in Molokai. Just go ahead and eat it." 4 years old, you know, you look up to your uncles, you look up to the older people. Wow, dirt's clean? I was thinking maybe it's I don't eat chocolate, but carob. Wow, that's incredibly good. So I picked it up and I ate it, dirt and all. Never forget that. Now, I'm not saying that that's literally a good thing to do, but probably along the edge of the fire, in the fire, the dirt was sanitized or disinfected or whatever, sterilized. But it was a memory I'll never forget. 4 years old, 1974. Some of my Molokai friends who share in the fame of course, being in the National Geographic with me, August '81, reminisce of the good old days. Life seemed to be much simpler then, and it was. We lived on the beach of the East End, and life was a dream. When I went away to college in the mainland at age 18, I longed to go home to Molokai. Well, no, actually I went away to college at age 17, and I longed to go home to Molokai. But at age 18, after my first semester of college, during school break, I went to Connecticut, New England, the East Coast. I worked hard in the orchards there, pruning trees, 6 days a week. I saved money, but I continued to think and dream of home. But entering manhood, a life of work, college, and family just didn't allow me to return. It was heartbreaking to me at the time, but as I look back, it was all worth it, and like everything in life, a learning experience I'll never forget. When I was 25, I made my first visit back home. I well remember stepping foot onto the red dirt again, smelling the scent of Molokai and hearing the sounds of the birds there, and even mimicking them, like I think that's the myna bird, the last one. Being home was really overwhelming. 8 years was a lifetime for me at that age. It was good to be home. Within an hour, tired from walking around, I stopped to rest on the lava rock wall and gazed upward at the clouds passing by with the trade winds. Tears really started streaming down the sides of my face, but they were tears of joy. I was so happy to be home. I didn't even care if I even had a real home to stay in, which I didn't, of course. But I could see the possibility of owning one someday and sharing it with the needy people of the island, which was my dream. So I returned to California to work and build up assets and later sell and buy a home on Molokai. It was my dream. It took 13 years. I never once stopped dreaming about it or gave up on the idea. I bought my first home in California when I was 23. It was in the city of Santa Rosa. Had big mortgage payments, trust me. I didn't have much money. I borrowed all of it. Well, no, actually I did put a little bit down, but not too much. During these 13 years, I revisited Molokai probably a dozen times. But I couldn't make a living or even think about buying a home there. The prices of real estate just kept going up and up on Molokai. Each time I visited, I was keenly, though, interested in understanding the culture better and understanding what the needs of the people really were. And I still am very much interested. Being homeschooled on the east end of Molokai was an experience only a few share, and I say there are a few out there that do share that experience with me. Going to the vacation Bible school at the Wailua Church, that was wonderful. At the Wailua Congregational Church there, learning to play the old pump organ. I was age 9 at that time. Learning how to paint, of course, pictures of Maui. All of these activities are ingrained deep in my soul, and it's really made me what I am today, nearly 35 years later. Of course, a happy, healthy person. I attribute it to the people of Molokai. I've always felt indebted to the special place and the people. Of course, the people that taught me, especially. What it gave me is so precious. I find it hard to explain where I got my passion, though, for life and everything that I do in life, and why, actually, I've spent the last 12 years traveling around the world trying to do the kind of work that I'm really doing, which you'll find out as we go on. And perhaps over the course of the next few years, if a miracle happens and our family is able to stay in Molokai and actually survive, you will learn more about me and what our family has to offer the community. I'm not interested in writing about myself here, really, or talking about myself. That's something you'll learn over time through my actions, or what other people report about me. My main goal has always been to offer my talents, though, here on Molokai, whatever they are, and apply myself wherever it's needed most. Because I grew up on Molokai and on the East End, most people just assume that I at least tried marijuana, right? But this isn't so. Some people think I drink alcohol, but this isn't true either. I do enjoy though a Reed's ginger ale from the Outpost Natural Foods, or the new Mini Mart sells it. But I've never been interested in mind-altering substances, so even though I have not experienced these things, nor do I go around judging those who do, it is safe to say that I won't be influencing others in this way. In fact, it's the opposite. And this is really where lies one of the difficulties or challenges I face here on Molokai. I really want to help the homeless, whether local or just passing through, but my real interest is in helping the younger generation never get into a homeless situation. I want to be the very best possible influence I can be. I want the young people to know that I don't judge them, and I'm not out to get them in trouble. I'm here to be a solid, trustworthy supporter of good choices and an encourager of a better way, a way free of mind-altering escapes. The best way I can do this is to be real and practice what I preach. I've never in my life tried any natural or unnatural drug, and I've enjoyed my life this way until now. It is because of this that I offer the free sailing, of course, to young people of Molokai every week, and usually on Sundays at 7. And if you keep watching, I will definitely give you my phone number, email address, and all my contact information so that you can call me, and I'll tailor and take your, a special sailing trip, especially for your group, your youth group, church group, or your family. I have 13 years of experience working with the homeless people, addicts, teaching healthy living, 13 years at Meadow Springs Lifestyle Center in California. During this time, I've been asked to speak in many countries in Europe, Africa, and Asia. I've made 10 trips into the Philippines in the last few years, teaching in many of the hospitals there, but my heart can't stop thinking about the needs of the people of Molokai, and this is really where my heart is. There are many things that we adults can do to help, and I really, the younger generation, I really want to emphasize this. I'm really pleading with the Molokai residents to be the best possible example you can be to your children, so that they won't do as you say, but as you do. Finally, the dream became a reality. While I was visiting Molokai in 2006, I shared my dream of helping the Molokai people with a man down at the pier. And he introduced me to the Kolapa house. Now, I didn't name it that. It just took on the name all of its own, and I ran with it. People all over started calling it the Kolapa House of Charity, so I made up some cards with that name. I also filed our not-for-profit with the state of Hawaii, and I got a business license.